Hi folks, so I said I'd come back to you a little bit later than I thought I'd be, but coming back to you with my take on this, the Asus Chromebook. I can't remember the name now, the C433T. I can't remember the name. So I've been using it now for about 2 or 3 weeks. It's been overall really good. I've come from never using a Chromebook in my life. I always just used Windows computers and obviously Android on my mobile phone. So going onto a Chromebook, there's a lot of things I've had to get used to, lots of changes, but it's been pretty easy and it's been a very pleasant experience with the Chromebook. So going through a few little things about it, the build quality, which has been brought up on some of the other review videos. Yes, the insides of it are plastic, and yes, they have got flex. It's not very thick plastic, not very robust plastic, but the outside, which is the bit that's going to take any knocks and bangs, that is aluminium, top and bottom, as well as the hinges as well. So there's no issues as far as I'm concerned. When I'm using it, I don't feel like it's a cheap feeling Chromebook or laptop. So I've had no issues really with the build quality. Getting used to things like having no physical click button has been one of my big things to get used to. You actually click the trackpad. It has got a click to it if you press down on it. And then things, I won't go into detail if you want to know about Chromebooks, there's lots of videos about, but things like the 1, 2 and 3 finger gestures on the touchpad as well, getting used to that's quite a big one. But I've been using this primarily for web browsing on Chrome, also for watching Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video, YouTube, that sort of stuff, which when you can convert it into a laptop has been great. If you have seen it, I'm not sure, but the fact that you can just flip it open and put it on, in tent mode as they call it, turn the camera down a little bit for you, is really useful. The touchscreen isn't that sensitive. It's nothing like my phone. It's not like a really old style touchscreen where you have to really push, but little light gestures, that worked. If you do, sometimes I've noticed when you've had to press a button on a website or something like that, I've had to press it twice for it to work. So that's been a little bit of a negative. Not all the time. It might just be me not pressing hard enough, but it does feel like it's not as reactive and as quick to your touch on the screen. But if I'm honest, most of the time I've used it in laptop mode. Only I've been watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and I've got it going, flipped it into this mode, put it next to the counter in the kitchen, and made dinner or done the ironing or something like that. It's been quite useful for that. The screen is very good quality, I think. It goes very bright. I don't think that's currently on its brightest setting, but it does go very bright, to the point where if you're watching it at night in darkness, you actually need to turn the brightness down or put on the night mode, which it does have by flicking up down here. It's quite hard to do upside down. Yeah, we've got a night mode, just here, night light it's called, and you press it, it just goes more yellowy colour. It's nice and easier on your eyes. Volume wise on the speakers is okay. It definitely could be louder. Funny enough, initially when I first got it, I was noticing that there was vibrations when you had the volume sort of anywhere above 3/4, and the vibrations was actually coming from the keypad. The keys were ever so slightly vibrating in their area, but touch wood, that seems to have gone away. So I don't know if it was just with initial use it's got rid of it, but I've not had that issue for a while, to be honest. The speakers are on the side and they're also downward firing, so when it's in this mode the speakers are actually facing towards you, which is quite nice again for watching all different sorts of videos online and that. So yeah, as you can see, what happens when you do turn it in, you do flip it anywhere over about 180 degrees, it does turn into this tablet mode. So right now the keyboard, there's absolutely nothing, so it's just an actual tablet, and instead of a desktop you get the app store constantly. You don't have a desktop anymore. So if you watch it as I flip it back to a laptop, it goes back to having a desktop with the mouse, keyboard's all working again. The keyboard backlighting is something I've not really liked, because it's a silver keyboard with, I would say, dark grey letters and symbols on. When it's backlit, it's actually harder to see it unless it's pitch black in your room. It's actually harder to see it when it's backlit. So, like I say, unless you're in a pitch black area, a really dark area, I don't have the backlight on the keyboard. It's like now it's not on. It is reactive as well, so it will go out until you start using it again, and then the lights will come back up. So that's that. What else can I do? The camera quality, I've done a few video calls, isn't great. I think it's 720p. It's not great, if I'm honest. A little bit blocky as you're moving around. It'll do. I've not had any issues from people not being able to hear me, so I assume the microphone works fine. It does actually have 2 microphones up on the top, 2 little pinhole mics. So that's that part. The speed of it, in regards to operating, I've had no issues. I've been using multiple tabs open on Chrome, videos playing alongside things, because you can split your screens in 2, so you can have a YouTube video playing over here whilst you're browsing the internet on this side, or doing documents, stuff like that. I've had no issues on that front. A little negative, I would say, coming into the app side of things, is when you first get it, you think that you've got Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Photos. They aren't the actual app, they're a link to the website. So I've actually had to download them off Google Play, which isn't a problem, but I don't quite understand why they don't just put the app on it, why they just put a link to the website. It's a bit strange. So I'm a big user of Google Photos. I've got loads of stuff on there with the storage. So when I clicked on it, instead of opening the Google Photo app, it opened Google Photos on the internet. I prefer the ease of use of Google Photos app itself. So they're easy to download because it's kind of like an Android system. So it's easy to download from the Play Store, but I was just surprised that it didn't come with the app ready to go. Other things that I've used with this, gaming wise, if you're interested, I've had the Steam Link, which is really good as long as you've got a decent internet connection. So my computer, my home computer, which is a gaming PC, is literally above us now, and we've got a Virgin Media Superhub 3, and we are on 200 megabyte internet, and the Steam Link works pretty well. There's a slight latency, which there always will unless you're directly connected, I would have thought, which you can't with this unless you use a USB-C to Ethernet and have a cable running down outside. But it's been really, really good. It struggled with the Bluetooth controller because I don't think it's got Bluetooth 5.0. I think it's a 4.0 on it. So when I used my PlayStation 4 controller, it was a little bit slow. But I've had a relatively cheap Xbox 360 PC controller, Windows PC controller, which, because of the USB-A that's on here, it's dead easy, plug in and play, away you go straight away, no issues. Also works with some Android apps like Asphalt 9, I think it is the latest racing game, and there's a few other games on there as well which controllers work well with. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can give you at the moment. I've not expanded the memory on it because it does have a micro SD card slot, but there's been no need to use it yet. It's early days. Most of my storage stuff is on Google Drive, which is obviously all online, so physically taking up hard drive space or memory space, there's not a lot to use. So maybe a while in the future, if I do find I'm getting low on the, I think it's 64 gig this is, then I'll just add a card to it. Battery level wise, the battery's been really good. I used it for a good 3 or 4 hours the other night, unplugged, doing all sorts of stuff like watching videos, bit of gaming as well, and it only dropped to like 80-something%. It was really good, so don't be worried about the battery life on this. But charging wise, it comes with a USB-C plug. I leave it plugged in when I'm not using it, so it's always ready to go. What else I can really give you, to be honest, guys? Like I said, it basically is on Android, so anything or most things that you find on the Google Play Store, you can download to it. So just looking now, for example, I've added the Casa app, which is what my security camera outside is attached to, and I just open it and it's exactly the same, identical to my phone layout. Same with like Google Home for all my automated stuff around the house. I've got Spotify on here. I downloaded Grand Theft Auto 3 just to see how it runs, and it runs really nicely. Again, with the controller plugged in, no issues. It's just like playing it back on in the day on PlayStation 2, but with an Xbox controller. But yeah, that's all I've got for you now. If you've got any questions, just fire them away below. I tend to reply really quickly. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Just while I'm here, I just want to say a big thank you to those of you that are subscribed today. I've just gone over the 600 subscribers mark, which for a little minnow YouTuber like me who's been going for quite a while, it's quite a big thing, so I really appreciate it. It'd be great to get up to 1,000 subscribers mark. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe or think about it. Look through my other videos. I do all sorts of unboxing and reviews of things. Also, I do quite a few videos on Nissan Qashqais because I own one, and they've quite a few issues and quite a few things. So if you've got a Qashqai out of interest, then do go look at those videos. I've got a playlist on my channel. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and I shall see you in the next video.